The Trump administration is taking aim at Harvard University as part of its crackdown on pro-Palestinian campus demonstrations. 3 federal agencies, the Education Department, U.S. General Services Administration, and the Health and Human Services Department, are all reviewing nearly $9 billion in contracts and grants between the government and the Ivy League school. The Education Secretary cited Harvard's failure to combat anti-Semitism during those protests last year. And this all comes just weeks after we saw the government pull $400 million in funding from Columbia. I should note, in all, 60 colleges and universities are under review by the Trump administration over these allegations of anti-Semitism. My political and legal sources are here, and Tom Dupree, as the attorney with us, it wasn't totally clear what Harvard needs to do in order to keep this funding.
Exactly. I think with Columbia, they were very specific in the demand list, the changes they wanted to see Columbia implement. They haven't been quite as clear with Harvard. But look, I'll say a few things. One is that the Harvard money at stake is much greater than Columbia, $9 billion compared to Columbia's mere $400 million. The other point is that Harvard, and I say this as someone who grew up about a block outside the Harvard campus, Harvard is deeply embedded in the community, not just Boston, but the greater New England community. And so a lot of the money that we're talking about, the grant money, doesn't go to kind of the, advanced Marxist studies or feminist theory courses, but it goes to things like research grants for hospitals, basic scientific research, and things that really serve the much larger community outside of what most people would consider kind of the typical narrow academic setting.
Yeah, but TW, obviously this is a pattern that we are seeing the administration continue to take. I mean, the broad scope that they've used, whether it's law firms or schools here. I wonder how do Republicans see this? Are they supportive of this?
Yeah, look, I think this is part of the great reexamination of all of our institutions of power that took place with Donald Trump's reelection. I think you saw COVID uncover a lot of distrust in our federal government, and I think you saw these protests unleash a new level of distrust toward Ivy League institutions that we had not seen before. You had people chanting "globalize the intifada" to Jewish students in their dorm rooms. You had people holding protests that shut down operations of campus activities, Jewish students feeling threatened. That you don't need to take my word for it, just read the Harvard Crimson. They spoke about it at length. And people are looking at Harvard and saying, here is a school with an endowment that is larger than the GDP of the country of Jordan. Why are we spending $9 billion with them when they couldn't protect Jewish students? And then ask yourself, would they do the same if people were supporting al-Qaeda or the Nazis? The answer most people come to is no.
Well, and there's a question in terms of support, material support, free speech, and where that line obviously is drawn.
Yeah, and I think what's important about what was said earlier is that the investigation now is not into whether Harvard is complying and what they've done they've taken dramatic and concrete steps to improve. The president stepped down and took responsibility. They're evaluating the grants, right? So they jumped a step in the process, right? There's not a discussion about whether they're actually doing the right thing. They're going immediately into the intimidation tactics. And I think it really speaks to 2 broader challenges with Trump right now. One is that he seems to want the citizens of the United States to be subjects who bend the knee, right, to the king, and not in a traditional way that we operate in a democracy. There's so much intimidation, arbitrary and capricious use of power. And the second thing is that this attack on our universities, our research institutions, our scientific leadership in the world will make us far less prosperous. This is an attack on our economy, our prosperity, that is broad, much broader than this single individual issue with Harvard. And so I think there are legitimate concerns about what, that Trump is in this process, making us less free, less prosperous, and certainly less great.
Well, and in its statement, Harvard released a statement, and they said anti-Semitism is a critical problem that they will and continue to address. They say as an institution and as a community, we acknowledge our shortcomings. Yeah. Our commitment to these ends and to the teaching and research at the heart of our university will not waver. They didn't really push back on what the White House is doing, and they seem to be treading very carefully here.
Yeah, and look, I think it's important to keep in mind also that the Harvard of today is actually very different from the Harvard from just a year or so ago. They have a new president. They, removed from duty several professors that were, causing controversy. And I do think they are genuinely committed to taking anti-Semitism seriously. It's easy to see why they're in the crosshairs, right? They're the Alabama of the North, super prestigious, well-known, well-recognized. They're an easy target, but we'll see how it plays out.
The Alabama of the North, as the only way I'm referring to Harvard from now on, unfortunately, except for that whole Duke situation. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all so much for joining us. CNN News Night with Abby Phillip is up next.